It began with a scream that no one else could hear. When Thomas Reed, a struggling journalist, checked into the Ashbrook Motel off Highway 47, all he wanted was quiet, a place to write. He was chasing a deadline, not a story. But Room 11 had other plans. The receptionist, a gaunt woman with eyes that never blinked, hesitated when he requested that specific room. "It's not usually booked," she muttered, sliding the key across the desk with an unnatural reluctance. "People complain about the noise." Thomas chuckled. "It's a motel. There's always noise." She didn't laugh. He should have listened. The room was outdated, pale green wallpaper peeled in strips. The light above the bed flickered constantly, and yet it had a strange ... pull. Thomas unpacked, took a shower, then sat down to work. At 11:11 p.m., the sound started. It wasn't a knock, not quite. A slow, wet dragging across the inside of the closet door, not outside. Inside, Thomas froze. Probably rats, he told himself. That night, Thomas didn't sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, the dragging would begin again, louder, closer, and then he began to hear breathing right next to his ear. By morning, he looked like he'd aged a year. He demanded a room change, but the receptionist only blinked once, slowly, and said, "You already opened the door. You're part of it now." "What?" he snapped. But she only smiled and turned her back. That S when Thomas noticed something he hadn't seen the night before. A black and white photo on the wall of the lobby, just behind the counter. It was dated 1956. The motel was new then, and in the photo, standing in the shadows near room 11, was the same receptionist. But she hadn't aged a day. That night, determined to document everything, Thomas set up his camera facing the closet. He turned off the lights, sat on the edge of the bed with a notepad. At exactly 11:11 p.m., the air turned ice cold. His breath misted in the air. The camera's night vision clicked on automatically. Something stepped out, barefoot, thin. It had the shape of a woman, but the skin was gray, stretched tight like wet paper. Her hair hung in thick ropes, drenched. Her face was featureless. No eyes, no nose, just a gaping vertical slit where a mouth should be. She walked toward him with jerky, unnatural movements, as though the bones inside her were rearranged. Thomas couldn't move. She stopped just in front of him, her head tilted. The slit in her face opened slightly, and a whisper slipped out. "Room 11 always wants more." Then she vanished. The next morning, the camera was gone, the footage deleted, but his notepad remained, with words scribbled that Thomas didn't remember writing. He fled, tried to drive away, but the road bent in impossible loops. Trees melted into themselves. Every sign he passed still read, "Welcome to Ashbrook Motel." He stopped at a gas station 5 miles out, trembling. The attendant stared at him, wide-eyed. "You came from Ashbrook?" he asked. "Just last night." "I have the receipt." But the paper in his hand had turned blank, except for a single scrawled word, "Stay." That night, Thomas slept in his car, but at 11:11 p.m., the back seat creaked, the sound of dragging returned, and in the rearview mirror, her face appeared again, closer, hungrier. He woke up screaming in daylight, parked back in front of the motel. He tried burning room 11. It didn't work. The flames swallowed everything, but the room rebuilt itself overnight, stronger, hungrier. Thomas went public, posted online. "Room 11 is alive," he wrote in every forum that would listen. "It traps you in your own mind. It learns from your fear." Nobody believed him, except one. A woman messaged him, "I saw her too. My brother disappeared in room 11. I've been looking for someone who survived." They agreed to meet at the motel. He waited. At 11:11 p.m., she knocked on the door. But when she stepped inside, she looked ... different. Her smile stretched too wide. Her voice was too calm. "I needed someone like you," she whispered. And the door slammed shut behind them. The room fed again.